Chapter 92. My warning to you. I, whom you know as Jesus Christ, address you by these teachings to warn you, each of you, who have not yet known these things to date. You can violate this disrupted field of low vibrations, of the Father's vibrations, even more, and envelop everything with the low vibrations of your selfish strivings, of your animal ego, so much that this planet, all its people, might encounter enormous pain and suffering, and you must not consider it even in the remotest corner of your soul heart as being the punishment or revenge of God. The Father is just love and nothing else, and He concerns about sending His vibrations to you. You all and each receive from Him only love vibrations. And if this ocean of the Father's love vibrations in some places takes on a black color, yet the whole ocean does not in the least lose its blinding and glittering whiteness and purity. However, for those who are in that dark spot, which all the same remains within the ocean of the Father's love, it is ever more difficult to discern and feel the Father's love and light. And the darkness around is getting ever thicker. And the actions within this darkness are getting ever more aggressive and cruel. And the whole environment begins to vibrate these strong and low vibrations, so that many of you might believe that it might be the end of the world. The end of the world has come. These vibrations not only cause ever greater suffering and pain, not only do more mortals perish because of the violence, but within this dark spot of the ocean of the Father's love, they form up such an ambience that is formed in a still and isolated water reservoir, which is not clean and which receives no additional water from another source. In this case, this water turns green, gets covered with water weeds, begins to stink as plants do not receive oxygen and start to decay, spread gas that produces such an unpleasant smell. And this environment is a very favorable soil for bacteria to appear and multiply. And your black spot within the Father's ocean of love, of a blinding purity and whiteness, also produces a very favorable environment for new viruses to appear and multiply. And they will also penetrate into your physical bodies, enveloped by the low vibrations of consciousness, and they will start multiplying there. And you will begin to experience yourselves that you do not care about any terrorism anymore. You do not care for any strivings to ensure democracy all over the world that have seemed to you so important, because everywhere around an ever-growing and deepening chaos will dominate, embracing as pandemic the whole planet. And you shall have no means to eliminate it, because all of you shall be stricken with anxiety and fear, as the death of the physical body will not be somewhere in the far-off country engulfed by the so-called war against terrorism provoked by you, but you will rave everywhere around you, but it will rave everywhere around you. It will have invaded your own home. It will have also embraced your whole country, not a far-off country, but your own country in particular, as it will have embraced a neighboring country, all the neighboring countries, all countries without limit. You will not know where all this has come from, and therefore you will not comprehend how to find the very source of it to eliminate it. And that shall generate even a greater anxiety and fear in you, even a panic to some of you, so that suicides will become an obvious fact, since men will not be able to bear that invisible hand which so pandemically will be taking away the lives of people who are dear to you and whom you love, even the lives of children. Then you shall not really care for fighting world terrorism any longer, for you shall be in captivity of your own terrorism, which you have invented by yourselves. You shall become the victim of your own terrorism, governed by low instincts and leading only a selfish life. But that shall have been done by your own mind, by your poor and undeveloped mind, by your long-term actions. Even as prior to my appearance in the flesh, the Jews had been killing prophets who had brought greater light to them. But their low and animal ego by no means had desired to submit itself to the control of their real self, governed by the higher vibrations of the Father's love. And they had been accusing God of sending punishment and suffering. So you were unwilling to see my greater light and feel the vibrations of the Father's love. And you killed me. And subsequently, even under the cover of my name, you were killing your brethren who had different beliefs. And you were presenting it as the chastisement of God and as his desire to convert them into your belief. So now, I am presenting to you once again, for the last time, a chance to hear a greater thought, to see a brighter light, to feel the vibrations of the Father's love, to discover the Father within, so that subsequently nobody would even entertain a desire to think that no one has told you about this, no one has warned you that they have been erring, that no one has prevented these developments, which at the moment are causing so much suffering for the body and pain for the soul. I'm passing this teaching to you through my apostle, so that you would know what to do, so that you would not be at a loss during a hard moment ahead, as there shall be so much pain and fear, panic and depression. But all this shall have been created by your own current unwillingness to discover the Father within. And even under these difficult conditions, for both your body and soul, exactly the same path shall be valid as to how to find an exit out of this chaos, the discovering of the Father within one's own self. And exactly this very same principle of cause, action, consequence shall be operating unswervingly all the time, even during these critical moments. Each of you, having discovered the Father within and having established a live relationship with Him, will know what to do. And those of you who, having seen this unfavorable environment, will be sincerely seeking a way out, will be given the teachings by those brethren who will have received and will be receiving these teachings from the Father, from me, and from other spiritual teachers, so that they would be spiritual teachers themselves for those who sincerely desire love and light, even as these teachings are being received by my current apostle and the Father's ambassador. then the spiritual bond shall be valued in a totally different manner than now. When my apostle is jeered at and ridiculed, when he has been taunted, even as I have been taunted when I walked among you, only in the then generation, and now he is being insulted, and he is not allowed to carry the Father's love and living word the way his opened up soul desires, even as I have not been allowed to carry the Father's living word the way my soul has desired. And I fully trust my apostle, even as the Father has trusted me. And my apostle communes with the Father, even as I have communed with the Father at that time. Therefore I do know that you shall find my apostle when your soul is full of pain, even as I have been found by the souls full of pain. And he will help you even as I have helped my brethren. Therefore, along with reading my teachings and striving for discovering the Father within your own selves, you must also associate among yourselves in order to feel the brotherly relationship of a family, of a spiritual family, that my apostle has also been preaching already for over 10 years. Therefore you must hear his words, for his words are the words of the teachings of my Father and the Father of all, the words of my teachings and the words of the teachings of my partner, Mother Spirit of the universe, passed over to him. Therefore, you will not hear selfishness in these words, and you will not feel self-aggrandizement over you or his self-elevation by belittling you, even as I have not belittled any one of you and have not heightened myself. However, you will also hear him say the words that he even himself does not envision today. He shall be speaking out, for these are not the words pondered by him. These are the words of the Father meant for all of you, only voiced through my apostle, in the same way that you can hear a word pronounced by someone into a microphone in a low voice and amplified so much that it is being heard even by those who are far off, yet it is being heard as a transmitted and modulated vibration over the audio appliances rather than the very original voice of the speaker. However, all the words uttered will have exactly the same vibration of the Father's love, which will touch the vibrations of an opened up soul, within which these vibrations shall recognize each other, since they are from one source, from the Father. And then these souls shall feel a never bigger mutual interrelationship to be able to manifest themselves more actively in their operation for the benefit of all.